Good
Good
evening.
evening. Hope everybody has had a chance to help themselves to the refreshments. If you haven't, please do, and please have some more. So we'll have to take it home, okay? My name is Sharon Doss. I am BDPA Detroit Vice President of Programs and Professional Development. Thank you very much for coming out to our information exchange. We do this on the third Thursdays of 10 months out of the year. And each month we try to have another interesting topic that will be of significance to IT people in their professional lives, and even for non-IT people to find out something about what exciting things we have going on around our community and just all kinds of good stuff. Today we have a special treat. We have our own Beverly Moore, president of the Detroit BDPA chapter, as our speaker. So we're excited about that, yay. Beverly is a senior project manager at HP, and she's responsible for facilitating critical project turnaround and PMO governance. And she also holds a BS in business management. So I'm going to say this right. TQO. Coast University, and an MBA from the University of Detroit Mercy. Me too, and she's got a lot of stuff behind her name here, these certifications, and she's going to explain to you what some of those are before the evening is over. So, and tonight Beverly's topic is Agile is not Scrum, but Scrum is Agile. And so I know some of you are going, what's Scrum? Scrum is Agile, right? Yeah, but Beverly's an excellent presenter, so she's going to help make you familiar with all of that, and she's going to let you know what's going on in that area. So please welcome Beverly Moore, President.
I am very excited to be here. This is my debut of my new reinvention of myself. I'm reinventing myself officially today as a Scrum or Agile subject matter expert. So you'll be seeing more of me to come. Yay. The other acronyms here are PMP, which is project management professional. PMI is the organization that gives the PMP, and they now just recently started a ACP, which is Agile Certified Professional. And then the CSM is Scrum Master, Certified Scrum Master, which is a different organization that certifies Scrum Masters, which are people, and we'll talk about those roles. And then ITEL is a methodology used for infrastructure, maintenance and development, and life cycle. I was working at Fannie Mae, and they announced that they were going to start some Agile projects. And so, being someone who's been around the block a few times, I wanted to make sure that as long as I'm at Fannie Mae, I can be eligible to participate in anything that's going on that's exciting and on the edge. So Agile, they said, oh, we're going to start doing Agile. So I immediately went out to the web and started looking for how I could get educated in Agile, and I found out about the certification. PMI offered a class, and that's how I spent my whole summer last year, working on that certification. I took the test twice, and finally passed it, and went to the BDPA conference and got my Scrum Master, the Scrum Master certification. P&G was one of the sponsored a class where you could get your Scrum Master for $250. That certification you gotta have to take a class, and that's a 2-day class, and I haven't seen it any place for less than $800, $900. So that was an awesome opportunity, and I was able to take advantage of it, and I haven't looked back. So I got excited the more I read about it. I mean, the whole summer of studying this, I was going through a whole major mindset change just to be able to grasp this. And the more I studied it, the more it starts to make sense. And I truly believe that Agile is going to be, in the IT field arena especially, is going to be a game changer. Because the numbers and the stats are there to show that when you use this methodology, the way it's designed, you can really deliver value quick. It's all about delivering value quick, business value quickly. The way we do it today, and I've been in IT for over 30 years, and so I've seen a lot of projects and I know how we do things, and we have more projects that fail than we do have successes. There's always something that doesn't work with the way we do things, because we're trying to do too much of it at one time. We got to gather all the requirements before we can even start this phase. That phased approach has been killing us. And I came across some very interesting documentation while I was preparing for this, where they talked about the waterfall methodology when it was first developed. It was never intended to be used. The guy said, it don't work, don't use it. So that was interesting that, but it caught hold, and it's been what we've been using for over 30 years. But it was real interesting to see that documentation about how, the author of it said it would never work. So, let me go to my next slide here. So what I want to do today is I want to do some introductions, because I need to kind of understand what you guys know, what you don't know, so I can kind of tailor my presentation accordingly. I want to describe to you, I'm going to talk about, make sure you understand what Agile is, and what the main thing that I want you to leave here with today is an understanding of the Agile values and principles, more so the values. Because what I'm seeing right now, whenever Agile is being rolled out or done, people do not understand the fundamental basis of what it's about. Everybody's got their own interpretation, and they haven't taken the time to understand the values that they define for it and the principles behind it. Because those are the things that you are going to use when you have to make decisions. No environment you're going to work in is going to be able to implement pure Agile. The culture is just not going to happen. You may evolve to it, but you're going to have to start somewhere, and it's not going to be at pure Agile. So when you have to make those kind of decisions, you need to understand the principles so that you can make better decisions and better choices about how you want to tailor it, and what you can do and what you should do and not do. So that's what that's my main objective of this presentation. Give you an overview of how the Agile methods work, and then I want to do a Scrum exercise. I want to use the Scrum methodology and do an exercise with the team, and then we'll come back together on that. So first, let's quickly go around the room, and if you can, I think we did the names, but tell me about your role and your experience with Agile and your favorite movie.
In case you don't have anything to say about Agile.
Well, my name is Gerald Raines, and I can tell you right now, I don't know anything about Agile or Scrum. I know very little. Even though I have an engineering background in energy and utilities, and I know about different applications and so forth, I know very little about information technology. And as far as Agile and Scrum, I just heard about it for the very first time a couple of months ago. So the fact that you're bringing it, to our doorstep here, I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you.
And my favorite movie, I guess, right now would be the Avengers.
My name is Valencia White. I'm a business systems analyst at Chrysler. Through research, I know about Agile and Scrum. I haven't had any hands-on experience. I'm also happy you're here. And my favorite movie would have to be The Notebook. Anyone knows what that is?
Yes, I love.
Hi, I'm Leslie Hampton. I don't know anything about Agile. I've seen it a couple of times. The only time I've heard about it was in BDPA, and I've seen a sign recently at GM, again with IT people behind closed doors, so I'm Agile on the outside the door. I don't know what my role is here, but I am a person who is not IT, that's at BDPA. I'm also in engineering. And my favorite movie, don't laugh, but it's Home Alone. I could just imagine, I'm trying to imagine myself being home alone. It hasn't happened yet. People keep coming to my home, so.
Okay, I'm William Bowen. Currently, I work full-time with the government doing various IT jobs. Then I also teach part-time at UD Mercer as an adjunct professor, and of course, a few things here on the side. Have zero experience with Agile, and my favorite movie will actually be the original 1986 Transformers movie.
Hello everyone, my name is Lauren Dawes. I'm an internal auditor at Comerica, so I'm not in the IT field, but I'm glad to be here. I know absolutely nothing about Agile or Scrum. My first time hearing or reading it was when I got the email from Eventbrite. So I'm looking forward to hear about it, and my favorite movie has to be Deliverance from Eva.
Hello everyone, my name is Ken Daniels, and I'm a graduate student at the University of Detroit Mercy in Information Assurance. This will be my first time hearing about Agile. I'm very eager to understand it and learn about it. My favorite movie would have to be Friday Night Lights. Naturally being football.
My name is Sharon Doss. I am an IT project manager at Chrysler. And I have read about and, done some reading on Agile and Scrum both, but never any practical experience. So it'll be good to get this refresher so that I can kind of remember really what it is and what it means and what the implications are for us in IT. I don't have a favorite movie. I'm one of those people, I watch a movie one time and that's it.
You sound like me.
So, that's it.
Well, hello again. I'm Clifford Sanders Jr., currently VP of Technology Automation. Don't really do projects. I'm more of the hands-on desktop network support person. Agile experience basis come from BDPA. We had an information exchange meeting a few months ago that introduced us to Agile. Favorite movie? I have a couple, but I say this time of the year I would go with October Sky, since it's about launching model rockets.
Hi, I'm Hermine Turner. I'm the president of the Detroit IT User Group and the Answer People, and I teach over at Focus Hope. I've got a project that's coming up in Office 365 that I'd like to apply some of this Scrum project management techniques to. And I've got very little experience with it other than just knowing, kind of studying it. My favorite, I have two favorite movies. The last superhero movie, which was Captain America, Winter Soldier, and the next superhero movie, whatever that's going to be.
Okay, everybody, I'm Val Williamson. I have absolutely no idea what Agile or Scrum is. I was invited tonight by my good girlfriend, Beverly Moore. I used to be in IT a long time ago, and now I manage a medical office. My favorite movie, Hunt for the Red October.
Okay. Well, I think this is the time when I would fess up and say, I have absolutely no hands-on experience with Agile. But I have spent my last summer studying, and I know enough to be dangerous. But I also kind of compare myself to a gentleman by the name of Peter Drucker. Anybody know who Peter Drucker is? Peter Drucker is one of the godfathers of management. He wrote a lot of books and did lectures on management, and he never managed anything. And if anybody's interested, I just happen to have his bio here. And so I guess my claim to fame is going to be, I'm going to be the agile expert of like Peter Drucker. Never did it, but talk it. And people follow it. They ask me to speak and pay me. So maybe sometime take a look at Peter Drucker. It's very interesting. He was very successful at talking about management, and he was the author of a lot of things that we do today in management. Management by Objectives was created by Peter Drucker. So, what is Agile? Let's start with the definition. Agile, properties consisting of quickness, lightness, and ease of movement. To be nimble, to be very nimble. The ability to create and respond to change in order to profit in turbulent global business environment. The ability to quickly reprioritize use of resources when requirements, technology, and knowledge shift. A very fast response to sudden market changes and emerging threats by intense customer interaction. Use of evolution, incremental, and iterative delivery to converge on an optimal customer solution. And I put in red here, maximizing business value to right size, just enough and just in time, procedures and documentation. Agile can be used for a lot of things. It's not just IT. I mean, to be nimble and to be able to move quickly, to be able to respond quickly, overall, that is what Agile is. Now, when you look at, from another perspective, this was interesting. There's some blogs out there, and I was reading through one of the blogs to help inspire me, and I came across this. A guy named Eric Poole, he says, there are two broad kinds of Agile. There's Agile with the little a, which is the lowercase, which means to be taken to mean pretty much any kind of iterative methodology. And then there's Agile with the big A, which is pertaining to the Agile Manifesto and some general accepted processes such as the Scrum and XP. So he has made a distinction between just general broad Agile and Agile as we will talk about it today from a software development perspective. There are other organizations that use Agile to do day-to-day or business functions that have nothing to do with IT development. I mean, they're using it in a lot of different ways. But what I want to focus on today is how it's being used for software development. Agile values people-centric, product-centric, and market-centric, meaning that it's all about people. Number one, it's about people communicating with each other, working together, just meshing together, bringing their skills to bear, and trusting one another. I mean, they've got to work together in a way that they trust each other, and they're bringing something to, they don't have to be managed on a day-to-day basis. They do what they're supposed to do. It's about the product. It's about delivering something quickly. You know, it's about a product that can be actually used in a short amount of time, delivering that in a short amount of time. It's about also market, being aware of the market and being able to respond to changes in the market. One of the things that has really driven this whole need for this methodology is the quick change. There's so much change in the competition. I mean, with the computers and things happening on the web and the information going so fast, information is like that, you know, how we get information compared to how we did 20 years ago is dramatic. So in order for companies to compete, they gotta be able to respond quickly and get stuff out on the market. And so one of the things that was found out about the systems development process is that 90% of the requirements that we develop, that we gather and develop, are never used. What actually gets produced, you know, through our current waterfall methodology is some big product with all these features, and 90% of those features never get used. So Agile, the principles of Agile allow you to use these different methodologies and frameworks to focus in on what's important. To only focus on what's important. And it forces you to prioritize, and it also, one of the hardest things that folks are that folks challenged with this is accepting change. We have been beaten down to death about change. That once we start down this path, we cannot change, no matter what. We've got to go. Well, you know what? Forget about it. You've got to be able to accept change and embrace change and make it happen. It's better to, what Agile profess is to fail fast. Okay, you're gonna fail no matter what. Even with whatever you do, there's gonna be things that's gonna happen, you're gonna fail. So if you gotta fail, fail fast. You know, so the sooner you know what isn't working, what's wrong, the better off you're gonna, you know, the quicker you can make that change and move on. Hey, how you doing? So that's just a little taste of it. So the name of this presentation, I called it Agile is not Scrum, but Scrum is Agile. And that is because a lot of folks, when they first get introduced or hear about it, they seem to mix and match or use the terms interchangeably. Agile is the umbrella, overall methodology, if you will, and under it are a lot of different ways to do it. Agile is the principles behind getting work done, whereas Scrum is how you make the work, is your process for getting the work done. Whereas Agile is your rules, if you will, principles for doing work, whereas Agile is how you actually do the work. So there are other methodologies, not just Scrum, that allow you to, they give you ways of getting the work done. So what I want to talk about here is the Agile values. Does anybody, are you clear with what I'm talking about, waterfall versus Agile? Is that fuzzy? Okay, waterfall is a methodology that's been used for ages in developing applications. And it says, first you have to do your planning. Once you do your planning, you gotta do your design. Oh, you can't go to design until you get sign off. And after you do your design, then you gotta do your development. Wait, did you get your sign off? So it's very staged, and each phase of activity has to be completed before the next one is done. And it's dependent on it. But when you're doing the requirements, you're doing the requirements for for the whole thing, for everything you could think of. You know, they're trying to put everything but the kitchen sink in there because they don't know when they'll get a chance to do something else again. So that's the whole thinking that's been going on for the last 40 years. And if you do, after you do your design, then you start your development. Once your development is done, you can do your testing. And in your testing, you bring in, your developers do their testing, system testing and all those phases, and then they bring in the customer. They have a user acceptance testing. Then they put it in pre-production. They test again. And then maybe the production support folks might let you put it in production. So, you know, that's the waterfall. You can see it's staged, and each stage is, everybody's got to agree in order for you to go to the next phase. It's very structured. It requires a lot of documentation. That's the other thing. Now, compared to the Agile, and what we're going to talk about here is the overall principles that underneath it, that it sits on. And then I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit, one of the methodologies, which is Scrum, because we're going to do an exercise on Scrum, using the Scrum methodology high level. And then hopefully you'll kind of have maybe you'll have a light, a little bit of glimmer or light on this. But first I want to kind of talk about this part a little bit. The manifesto, they created a manifesto which talks about these are the principles we will live by. Okay, the values, there are 4 values when you talk about Agile. Well, they got it in a different order here, but customer collaboration. We're saying that the customer is going to work in the team, not with the team, in the team, which is different. I mean, right today, in a waterfall environment, everybody's got their camp. You know, you've got the business community, they over here, they got the money, and you got the IT folks, and we got the design, and they know that they can't get it done without us, but sometimes they'll go out and contract and bring in somebody else, because they can't, you know. But in this environment, we all have to work together. There's customer collaboration, which means that we have frequent communication. You know, the business community, they're always, you know, we got to go run the business. We don't have time. Can't you read my mind? So, but in an Agile environment, there has to be truly a business commitment to what is about to happen. They're on the team. They own the business part of it. They make the priorities. They are driving this Agile team. They need to be in close proximity, meaning that they need to sit together. In theory, the best, purest Agile environment is where they all sit together. The business, your IT, right in the same room, right in they gel. Regular meetings, multiple communication channels, meaning the email, the IM, whatever is now, all the communication channels that are available, and frequent feedback. You know, once something is done or taken, you don't finish it totally. You know, you get frequent reviews because you're all together. You know, you're working together, and you're constantly getting input from all the subject matter experts as you go through this. Relationships, and as a result, you should have strengthened relationships. And that type of collaboration means more, not that it doesn't override it, but when it comes to contracts. Usually how people come together as a team is based on a contract. In a project within a company, it's your statement of purpose or statement of work. You know, if it's, you're bringing in a contract company, you got a contract. You bring in HP, you're going to have a contract. So what this value is saying is valuing, when you have to make decisions, look at the collaboration part of it before you value the contract. Okay, the contract says thou shalt, thou shalt, thou shalt. But from a collaboration point, if you also, you know that if you sit down and get this done, just go ahead and get it done, you can get it done, instead of, you know, saying, oh, we can't move because the contract says we have to do this. So it doesn't say the contract goes away, but it says you need to put priority and put values on the collaborative piece. Build that collaborative piece stronger than you do your contract, when you talk about contract. Individuals and interaction. It says you want to value the individual and the interactions of the individual more than you do the process. You know, and if you have experience working in teams, doing application development, I'm sure you can think of times when the process got in the way of individuals and interactions. Leadership, the boundaries, empowerment. Agile empowers the team. Competition, structure, manageability. These things should be valued more than the process, the life cycle completeness, the process model levels. That's another value. Working software. Now this one is key. Success in an Agile is working software. If the software doesn't work, nothing, it doesn't mean a thing. You know, that's the most important. I mean, that's more important than the documentation. You know, and there are ways to write self-documenting software if you wanted to. And that's what the Agile is all about. You know, the third value here is working software. Clear objectives, small, feasible scope, acceptable criteria, acceptance criteria, time boxed. Everything is time boxed. You know, no matter what, if the time is up, you're not done, stop. You still have to stop. And then you reevaluate what you're trying to do. Did you really estimate it right? And you go back and start it over. Valid operational results. Regular cadence and intervals. The team run at regular cadence, especially in a Scrum team. Their principles say that you're only working 8 hours a day. It's designed for a team to work 8 hours a day and not to be, and the time limit, it has time limits of, say you're gonna do an interval of, usually it's 2 to 4 weeks. You know, after 2 to 4 weeks, you're delivering something that working software. And you keep that cadence, working 8 hours a day, so that the team doesn't get burned out. Versus, you know, working 3 months to deliver a piece of software, and you're working 8 hours a day or whatever, 8 to 12 hours a day, and you burn a team out. So it's designed to have a steady cadence so that it's repeatable and predictable. And it says you want to value those things over documentation. Those things are more, but doesn't mean that documentation is not important. You know, a lot of people, they've looked at this methodology and they've said, oh, we don't have to do documentation, we're doing Agile. No, that's not true. You still have to do documentation. But there are better ways to do documentation in this environment versus just having a time where you're just sitting down and just doing nothing but writing documentation that nobody will ever read.
Unless there's a problem. Unless there's a lawsuit.
I guess there could be a scenario that would be applicable. But the point is, you know, if that's one of the characteristics of the project that you're working on, that lawsuits could be possible because of lack of documentation, the business owner who would be in a Scrum environment would be the product owner. They would prioritize that and make sure that that got done. And that's, you know, particular to that particular task that you're doing. There are other scenarios where, as far as how the system works, the documentation could be in the code, you know, embedded line for line. Right after you know, do whatever you're telling it to do, you're documenting what it's doing right there. You know, those are some other ways that documentation can happen. So freeing your mind and being creative about things allows you to be more flexible and put the emphasis on working software more than, you know, making sure that you write the book about how this thing works. But doesn't say that you don't need that. You still need that. Responding to change. I like how they laid this out in this. I took this from someone. Responding to change, because at the bottom line of this whole methodology, this is the hardest part of this whole concept that anyone is going to be able to accept and say, how do you do that? Is being able to be open to change. You know, the value, what this methodology values is the ability to respond to change. That's the biggest asset that it brings, is that it says, if there's something changes and the customer has valued it as number one, stop. It makes no sense to keep doing something that doesn't deliver value. It doesn't get the customer what they want. Organizational flexibility. Now, being able to respond to change and accept change, if you think about that from an organizational perspective, it's mind-boggling. You know, companies just cannot change that fast. You know, open to the whole concept of change, it doesn't happen that fast. There's approaches that go through what they're calling transformation, organizational transformation. When companies at a overall size are looking to bring in Agile, they have to go through an organizational transformation. I mean, in order to be able to find a way to allow the Agile activities to occur within their organization. I mean, because a lot of companies are still in buildings where everybody's got offices and walls and cubes. Well, the Agile saying, tear that down, put them in a big pen, let them go. Process flexibility. If you've ever worked in IT, I mean, they've got more processes than you can even shake a stick at. Trying to put something in a production environment can be very painful. Even their change control process itself. You know, I was, last account I was on, client account was Fannie Mae. And I got very familiar with their change management process. And I went to change review board meetings. And we had a quick fix we needed to put in production. And do you know, it took us, in order to follow the process, it took about 6 weeks. In order to do all, because every change had to go through all the waterfall phases in order to get into production. And so we had this like one-liner change. It was unbelievable. And we did document it so that we could build a case that we needed to change this methodology. We needed to streamline this because it's costing us too much and it's killing us. So that was proof positive of what we do today and what this methodology is up against when you're trying to bring it into an organization. And what it's saying here is that we value responding to change versus following a plan. A lot of project managers here, so you know about following the plan when you put your project plan together, you don't wanna hear about nobody doing something that's not in your plan. You better follow my plan. Well, I don't care. This is the plan. You know, that means I gotta redo this plan. You know how long it took me to do this plan? We don't like that. So what happens in the Agile environment is they have taken, and I'm gonna talk specifically about the Scrum methodology. It's taken the project manager role and split it up. In the Scrum methodology, there is no project manager. You have a product owner. This is the person that owns the business and prioritizes from a business perspective what we are trying to accomplish. This is the person that gives the team the vision. You know, say for instance, we need to create this box with this on it. The product owner walks in and says, I need 50 million of these over on the West Coast by June. How fast can we get this done? Well, and it has to be this diameter, this color, you know, and they make priority. And so we find out, well, we're trying to order the paper and we can only get 5 centimeters, but you asked for 6. Well, what do? Well, he prioritizes. If he thinks that's most important, he's the one that's gonna say, you know, this is what we're gonna work on, this is where we're gonna do it. And when change happens, that person is the one that says, you know, this is the way it needs to go. We gotta accept this change. You know, we find out that the only ink they have is purple. And we find out that the Asian people love purple. So, and we had planned to do this in red. Well, we better change this. I don't care, stop, change it. And so that's what the Agile methodology allows you to do. Your other team member is the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is the one that facilitates and gets rid of roadblocks. You know, someone's having a problem, whether it's an interpersonal problem or technical problem. You know, they're trying to get some information from another group or whatever it might be. If it needs to be escalated, that Scrum Master is going to take care of it. The Scrum Master is also the one that facilitates all the meetings and make sure that people are talking and facilitates through issues. There's in the Scrum, there's different types of meetings, and that Scrum Master is the one that facilitates through all those activities. And the remainder of the team is the team. That is the subject matter experts. So you may have a business analyst, you're gonna have developers, architect, DBA, whatever you might need for the particular product that you're trying to build. That's the team. The team together make up what a project manager, they also embody all of the functionality that a project manager would have had in a waterfall project. So now you have, they're self-organizing and self-empowering. So they meet, on a daily basis, they have stand-up meetings. Those meetings are, what, 10 minutes? Is it 10 or 20? 15. 15 minutes. So everybody meets, you're on time, you got a total of 15 minutes. What have you done today? What are you going to do tomorrow? And what is keeping you from getting your work done? 3 questions. Answer those 3 questions and then go back to work. We're done. Now, and I like that. That is awesome. As when I was studying this, I started using that technique even in my regular project activities. When I started holding my meetings, my status meetings, I started asking those 3 questions and we're done. You know, so that's one thing that you can take away and probably use right away is a way to get information and work together and be quick and be done. Oh, I didn't want to go there. I went to the end. Okay. That means I got how long?
Do you need to move to your exercises, or you need to cover something?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to speed through this, and then, the other part, you've got the values here, you've got the principles. Can you guys read this? Mm-hmm. Okay. The early continuous delivery of valuable software. Working software is the primary measure of success. Welcome change requirements, even late in development. Agile process harnesses change to the customer's competitive advantage. It's all about the customer, it's all about the business. Delivering working software frequently from a couple of weeks to a couple of months with preferences on short time scales. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project, building projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support their needs, and trust that they will get the job done. The most effective and efficient method of conveying information is face-to-face. So it really truly values face-to-face. That's the best way to communicate is face-to-face. But as we know in our world today, that's not always possible, but we can use tools to supplement some of that. Some of the video conferencing kind of helps because the chances of having all the people in one place is not going to happen. But there's other techniques where you bring them together for a short period of time, at least in the beginning, so that they can gel, and then you let them go back and now they can work because they built a rapport together. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. When something is not working, you don't say, I'll fix it later. You don't fix it in another phase. You fix it now. The methodology of one of the principles that uses is continuous development. That means you do your code over here, you unit test it, and then when you integrate it on a daily basis, not 2 weeks later. You integrate whatever you've done on a daily basis, and it better be working. If it's not working, you roll it back, you make it get it fixed, and if it doesn't get working when the time frame that you're working in, you've got some problems, we got to break it down and start dealing with those problems and eliminate them so that you can keep moving. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. So and I struggle with that statement there, and I'm trying to figure out what are they saying. They're saying that you're trying to eliminate waste. You want to only do the things that are important. And being able to recognize what's important quicker, once you start thinking that way, you will be able to recognize what's important and work and focus on that versus doing all this other fluff. If you think about it, a lot of what we do to get to the end point there's a lot of fluff in there. And so when you're working in an environment that allows you to cut through all that and get straight to what's important, and that people trust you, that you understand the big picture, and that what you're cutting out is not going to derail you because of the trust, you can get a lot of things done a lot faster. The best architectural requirements and design emerges from self-organizing teams. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how they became efficient, the tunes and adjustments its behavior accordingly. In the methodologies, they have regular meetings, at the end of a sprint, and then at the end of a group of sprints, they have what they call the retroactive or retrospective meetings. That's reflecting back what worked, what didn't work. And what's really interesting about this methodology is it's fun. The way they go about these meetings, they do it in a fun way. They have creative team building ways of handling these meetings. The facilitator being the Scrum Master, and sometimes you might bring in an outside person because the Scrum Master might have a lot of information to contribute. So that person facilitating the meeting does games. You know, even when they're estimating how long it's gonna take something, they have games where you can play to do that. So, and that's the other thing that's exciting about Scrum is, you know, it embodies real life things that make the whole process fun. You know, it doesn't sound like work as much anymore. And so that's one of the things that allow people to, their creativity to flow in this process. Agile methods don't mean delivering it now and fixing it later. Lightweight yet descriptive approach, reducing cost, risk, waste while implementing quality. I'm running out of time. I want to get to the game. So I don't know that we're going to necessarily know this for the game, but these are the ways that the methods that are embodied in the methodologies. Flexibility, customers, involving customers early and often, prioritizing, you gotta prioritize. De-scoping, you know, when you prioritize, that means there's something you're not gonna do. Decomposing, breaking things down into smaller pieces, into doable pieces. Iterative, you know, being able to repeat in a cycle that's doesn't burn people out. Leanness, architectural. You only design what you need right now. Don't design the whole platform. Design what we need right now, because, and it talked about making, the point of when you make decisions. Make your decisions at the last possible moment. That's when you need to make the decisions. When you're looking at how, you know this is gonna happen, you know you gotta, but do I need it now? Do I need to make that decision right now? Well, quit spending time on that. You know, put that over there and just focus on what you need to do now to get a piece of deliverable software, working software. Collaborative, we talked about that. Test early and often. There's a methodology within Agile that's focused on testing, test-driven design, which says that you write the test before you write the code. And I'm like, whoa, I'm still struggling with that one. Write the test before you write the code, you know. And if you can do that, I guess it could make a big difference. It's a whole different way to think about things when you're doing that. Test often. You know, the sooner you catch a bug, the cheaper it is. We all know that. So you want to constantly test often, adapt, frequently identifying optimal processes for products and solutions. Okay. As I was describing, Scrum is one of the methodologies under Agile. There's Scrum, there's XP. Most organizations, when they implement Agile, they tend to implement Scrum. Scrum is the most highly used methodology in Agile. And the next most highly used is XP, which is extreme programming. And I would say the third is Lean. Lean is starting to really catch on a lot more. And Lean goes back to the quality assurance period. Six Sigma, you know, the Lean came out of all of that. Its principles are based on all of that kind of stuff. So what I want to do is split the room up into two teams. And within your teams, you guys decide who is going to be the Scrum, the product owner, who's going to be the Scrum Master, and who's going to be, and the rest, that makes the rest of you team. And I have definitions of what each role is. I'm going to give you that. And I'm going to give you this sheet which shows you the 4 values. And what I want you to do is we're gonna take two of the values. Each team is gonna have 2 of these values, and you need to talk amongst yourself and figure out and decide and come up with pros and cons on why each value would make you successful or why it wouldn't make you successful. And then when we come back together, I want to get what your final decision is. Are these good values to have or not? What you decided. Finally, in my lifetime, we can deliver a project on time and the customer will love it. It'll be exactly what they wanted. I mean, that's just so it almost brings tears to my eyes. Really. So, I went on this major journey and I did this certification. So if you're interested in certification, in learning about this, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think, as I started out in the very beginning, I truly believe, Agile is going to be a game changer. It is going to impact and have a place in everyone's workplace, especially in IT. You're going to have to interface with Agile some kind of way. You may not be on the team that's doing it, but you're going to interface with a team that's doing it. It's going to come up in meetings. You're going to need to know what they're talking about. You want to know why they're having so much fun. So consider studying more, and if you're going to put in some time to study, might as well make it count. Maybe a certification. And so these are some of the materials that I looked at during that time. In order to get the PMI certification, you have to have a certain number of hours in classroom hours. So I took a PMI class, the PMI chapter offered a class in preparing for the Agile certification. And that class cost me $14.95. But the guy said, "You don't pass the exam the first time, I'll give you your money back." I said, "Oh, that's good." So I didn't pass the first time. It wasn't a plan. It truly wasn't, because you don't want to take no exam twice. I'm telling you. But unfortunately, I didn't pass, and he gave me my money back. And so I was able to buy some more materials and sit for the test again. And
How much is the test?
the test, the first time, it's about $550. Yeah. And so, and then in that process, the materials in that class were terrible. And I found some additional materials. This Mike Griffith, his materials were excellent. If you're interested in the PMP exam, his materials, I believe, are excellent. He has a CD with his materials that has sample exams in it. Really awesome. It's well worth the money. I spent $210 on that, and it's well worth it. I could have done this, the class was good because I was still trying to understand the concepts and stuff. And so you're going to need to get exposed to this a few more times before it really is going to soak in, especially this whole thing about accepting change. That's really, really hard. But now I'm like, change, that's my friend. Okay. Online, I took some online test questions. There's a lot of stuff out there. This is the one that I went to, and I went through their materials over and over, and it helped me prepare. There's another Agile exams is where I did the test questions on that one. I think that one was a lot cheaper. It was like $49 for 3 months or 30 days or something, or you can $69 for 3 months or something. So I did that, and it all worked out. The last materials that I used was Mike Griffith's book, and I would tell you, you need to read the book 3 times completely, and then you're ready to take the exam. So that worked out. I hope this has been enlightening, or if nothing else, it has spurred your interest to get more information. there's no way that in an hour I can really convey all the concepts about Agile. I can only just start the conversation. And so I hope that I have been successful at that today in starting the conversation and at least giving you something to think about. Questions?
Yeah, I have a question for you. What's the value in terms of dollars of getting certified? I mean, you're putting out a lot of money, not a lot of money, but, you know, training costs. You know, what's gonna be the end game? I mean, how can you translate those training dollars into money in your pocket?
I personally am a baller, okay? So that means that, you know, because I am a baller already, I can continue to be a baller and make 6 figures. There you go. And having
Sign me up.
exactly. Certification is what separates you from the rest. It gets me that interview, and that's all I need is the interview. Just let me in there. Now, you know, the rest is you know, is gonna be what it's gonna be. But you wanna be able to be separated from the pack, and this is what certifications do. It gives you the ability to talk the language. I mean, I am now the Peter Drucker of Agile, okay? I can talk the lingo with the best of them.
Do the PMI certifications require the documented experience like you do with the PMI cert?
Yes. And I just admitted to you earlier that I don't have the experience, but I was able to get through that. It's a matter of how you fill out the application and how you look at the things that you've been doing and put it in perspective.
So say you're fresh out of college, just starting your career, what would, I know this comes with a lot of experience and background, but what would be the most efficient certification if you're just not coming to your career?
I heard you say earlier that you are a business analyst.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a business analyst certification.
Yes.
Have you looked at that?
Yes, ma'am.
I would start there.
Okay.
Any other
Oh,
questions?
by the way, what's a baller?
I thought you never asked. That's an IT professional who has paid their dues, and they make it 6 figures. Is that right, Chris?
That's right.
I should ask a young man right here. You know what a baller is.
Not a baller yet.
Right. But I know when I said I'm a baller, he said, oh, yeah. We BDPA family, we started, we really picked that up from our conference. Last year, our keynote speaker was Roland Martin. You know who Roland Martin is?
No.
Roland Martin is the news anchor. He used to be a news commentator. Yeah. He was our keynote speaker for the opening.
Okay.
And he talked about how we use the term STEM. He says, STEM is not sexy. You gotta make this stuff sexy. He says, what if you walked up in your BMW and you got on your shorts and you jump out and, you know, you make it look sexy. You know, you gotta make it, in order to appeal to the younger generation, you need to make it look sexy and use their terminology. He says, you a baller. He said, you know, then he can understand, I mean, the people, the younger folks can understand that you have to pay your dues. This just didn't happen overnight. You know, this is how I got to where I am. And don't be afraid to say what you make. And, you know, he's using an example of one of his friends who works for a company that is public, and so his salary is public. And, you know, someone asked, what is your salary? And he didn't want to tell him. He says, your salary is public. What's your problem? So that's how that has come about. Yeah.
One of the things that I find real challenging, particularly for me, even though I've got a lot of years in the industry, these certifications require the discipline that's required for study, but even more important than that, you have to have a certain moxie for test taking. Particularly, these certification examinations are done at a testing center, and you're in front of a tube. It's not like the old days where you have a Scantron and you're doing ABC, you know, what have you. So is there anything that BDPA can bring to the table in terms of test preparation?
Yeah. Mentorship. You know, there are, I think, at least 2 or 3 of us in the room right now that are PMP certified, and we're more than happy to share our experience and help anyone prepare. You know, this is one of the things that we're doing. You know, I'm recommending what the best tools are. The reason why I recommend this software is because it mimics the exam environment. And then it also takes you on the side and lets you focus in on areas of study within the exam. You know, segment each area of the exam and just focus on it. It has lots of exams that just focus on certain areas. And so, and then the final test where you take it for the whole 3 hours is just like, you know, he creates an environment that's very much like what you will experience in the exam. But, you know, I would say the best thing for preparing would be to find a mentor, and then they can help you choose the right training materials and places to go. And so, and that builds a long-term relationship, and that's what's gonna really carry you forward. Other questions?
Well, let's give Beverly another hand. Very, very interesting. I really appreciate it, and gave me some insights on some things I can do on my project at work. So I'm excited to try a little bit of it. So before we close out, I just want to mention a couple of things because we have a number of our board members here that I would like for you guys to get introduced to. Again, my name is Sharon Doss. I'm the VP of Programs and Professional Development. And so I'm responsible for making sure that we have good topics here for our information exchanges. Next month, we are going to have some 2 of the professionals from CA Technologies, and they're going to come and talk about going beyond BYOD, which is bring your own device, going beyond BYOD to enterprise mobility. So they're going to talk about why companies should be interested in enterprise mobility, what it takes to put that in place in your organization. So you'll see those invitations coming out soon on Eventbrite and on Meetup. And in June, we've rescheduled Leslie Lynn Smith, the president here of Tech Town, so she will be with us in June for our information exchange. So like I said, there are a number of our board members here. I want to say from my own area, I'm looking for people who are interested in helping put on the information exchanges. So if that's the type of thing that you would like to help with, like I've already recruited Valencia on her very first meeting to be on my team to help with that. But we have other board members here who might want to talk about what they do and what things they might need. So I'm going to ask Cliff if you would start out and introduce yourself and what your responsibility is, and if there's any projects or items coming up that you need help with, then we'll work out from there.
Well, again, I'm Clifford Samuel Jr. I'm the VP of what's called Technology and Automation. So I kind of say it's for the geeks and those who want to get more hardcore into the technology. So basically what I'm looking for is people who are interested in learning more about some aspect of technology or going out to explore what's available in the Detroit area. So you get your high tech and your hands a little bit dirty, you know, instead of always high level. We try to get a little bit dirty in technology to get a little more understanding of what's going on. And a good thing with Tech Town, there's a lot of technology here. And actually around the corner, you'll see these machines there. They're called MakerBots, and that's for rapid prototyping. So then you can go around there and you actually see some of the designs of, that's the new wave of technology that's coming in for manufacturing. And that's something you're gonna need to know as an IT, because you have to program that, it goes, use CAD software, there's a firmware that has to be used, so everything's, in a sense, it takes software to make things in the real world, but they need things in the real world to make the software sets that intertwine that we're seeing. A lot of times I would say software, but hold it. You still make things. No matter what they say, oh, software is king. Yes, but you still make things. So what I'm looking for is kind of find out what are you interested in learning more and what you want to get more involved with and technology-wise, just to see what's out there. That I want to plan something. I don't know if any of you've heard about this place called the Tech Shop out in Allen Park. And this is a place where you can do rapid prototyping on a variety of different equipment. There's laser cutters, there's those maker bots. If you're really into heavy manufacturing, there's a water jet cutter that will cut steel about that thick with a water jet. And they have sewing, and it's a place where you can rapidly prototype from electronics to even clothing or wearable, as they say, the new wearable technologies that are coming out. So if anyone's interested in that, that's something I'd like to set up, maybe a tour on a Saturday to go out there just to let you see. These are places that are available for you now. It isn't free. It isn't free to become a member. But it allows you to know, okay, what if I had an idea, a manufacturing idea for something? Even if it's a one-off, there's a place where you can do it for yourself and then branch out maybe into your own entrepreneurial ventures. So I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, the website has our email addresses, so just shoot me an email or Facebook or through LinkedIn of what you're looking to learn, and we can try to accommodate you. Because there's a lot right now, which is great in Detroit. A lot of things are finally coming to fruition. A lot of technology is popping. Auto's finally waking up. They're putting more technology in auto now than ever. That at one point we thought, oh, auto was boring, but now it's the hot thing. Basically your car is a moving hot spot. Oh yes, that's another event. We'll be posting that. Hopefully I have time over the weekend to get it all posted. Event called Tech Week is coming up in May. And this is a big event for Detroit because it's never come to Detroit. It's always been Chicago, always the coast.
What's the date?
I'd have to look, but I know it's near the middle of May. I think it's the 17th, 19th of May in this event. And it'd be a good thing just for you to go there just to see what's happening. Because this is an event where, of course, Dan Gilbert and the Quicken and all his companies are going to be out there, and a lot of other startups will be showing what's going on in technology. So check our website. Definitely by Monday I'll have everything posted for that event. I think we'll even have some possible discount codes. I'd have to see how many they gave us for that.
Yeah,
So,
we're supposed to be getting a 30% discount code for that. That's gonna be a week-long technical conference. There's gonna be activities all week long. It's gonna be downtown Detroit. It's almost like an outdoor festival, the way they advertise it. And they're gonna have speakers, they're gonna have job fair going on. It's gonna be awesome. There's a whole website set up that talks about it. If you go out and Google Tech Week, it'll come up, turn your speaker down, because it's got some music on it. But we're gonna be having a 30% discount for our followers available to buy tickets and attend that event.
And definitely I recommend people use Facebook, use LinkedIn, use meetup.com. Don't be scared, because a lot of these events are exclusively posted on their systems. And yeah, definitely do searches for all of things, because there's a lot of tech and there's a lot of other events going on in Detroit, but if you don't really look for them, they don't really pop out to you.
It's May 26th to June 1st.
Yeah.
Okay, they moved it a little bit, because it was supposed to be a little bit earlier. They moved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
May 26th to June 1st.
They moved it, okay.
Yeah.
So what y'all missing, I'll be out of town.
Yeah, they reached out to us and wanted to make us a partner, so that was awesome, right there. They recognized BDPA, wanted us to participate.
So it's my 2 cents.
Okay, my name's Kenesha Brown, and I'm the BDPA secretary. So I assist Madam President and everyone else on the team with any communication
She's my right arm. Keeps us aligned. Chris.
My name is Chris Carson, and I am the VP of Strategy and Planning. Currently, we have an immediate need for internship. What we're looking for are young adults, college students, high school students that can participate in an internship at one of our executive sponsor level organizations. This will take place starting in June and run most of the summer and could lead into December. This is a paid internship. And what I'd like to do is encourage you to share your resume or background with me and see if we could get you plugged into some of this.
We've got your first
First
person.
You go raise your hand, Kendra.
Security.
Okay.
And talk with you after the meeting.
Yeah. Talk to you after the meeting. We have some real exciting things in the pipeline that we're working on. The team is really up and running, and there's a lot of exciting things happening here in the Detroit area. BDPA is primed and positioned to take advantage of these opportunities, and we'd like for everyone to be a part of it. So by all means, stay connected. Reach out to us if you have any technical needs or any technical questions about our organization, and we will be glad to assist you.
Hi.
Oh, we're going around to everybody.
We haven't met you.
Oh,
This is gonna be great.
Go ahead, cuz.
Oh, my name is Donnie Bowles. I'm here visiting. Just got into town yesterday and leaving tomorrow for a business trip, and just having to call my cousin here, Chris, and today we're just hanging out. And he said he had a meeting tonight. I said, I'm fine. I don't have any place to be until 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay, he's being modest. He does have a technical background.
I've noticed you mentioned PMP certified. I am PMP certified. I'm a program manager with BAE Systems in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. I think there is a Phoenix chapter too.
I think there is.
Yeah, we gotta get you connected. You're welcome.
Chris, what you say your last name was?
Carson, C-A-R-S-O-N.
And I really hate I missed your presentation. We missed your presentation.
Me too.
He told me about it, but just couldn't get here any sooner. But
Yeah, I'll have Cliff to post the slides.
And I
but
think
feel free
we
to-
recorded it, and we'll have it on YouTube and post it on our website
Yeah.
once he's edited.
Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, anything I can help you with.
This is just to get a copy of the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, I'll put it up on our website as a link. I'll put it on our website, and it'll just be a link you can click on and download.
Okay.
Any Leslie, board members?
Hi, I'm Leslie Hampton, and I support Sharon. I was formerly in Sharon's role, and staying on to support her because she's a world traveler, and so I'm just looking forward to working with her on the upcoming speakers that are coming up for the upcoming month. Sounds very exciting. Welcoming you to our team as well, Valencia. And we welcome any of you to join with us. And it's getting fun now. It's getting fun. It's more people, it's getting more fun. So we hope you guys will continue to come back. We really enjoyed you this evening.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Edward Hudson. Just call me E. I'm the Vice President of, this is kind of a new thing. I'm the Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion. And I'm still trying to figure out what that really means, because I'm not big into titles, but when an organization like Black Data Processing Associates has the opportunity to work with other ballers in other industries, then if you're dealing with someone at the CXO level, when I say CXO, obviously that means CEO or CIO or CFO, etc. So CXO. When you're dealing with folks at that level, they got a certain title, and BDPA, in order to get your props, you know, street cred, swag on, okay, you got to have the right title. But again, just call me E. I'm not so much focused on titles as much as I'm focused on making sure that as African Americans in the information technology industry, whether you're just coming into it or you've been at it for 30+ years, these are very exciting times in metropolitan Detroit. Very exciting times. Do not believe the negativism that you're hearing sometimes with the media and everything that is associated with the bankruptcy. There's some money flowing, and I think that it is important that Black Data Processing Associates Detroit chapter is properly positioned to receive, okay? Because we all want to receive, but I'll also share with you the fact that if you want something from the party, you got to bring something to the party. That's really what it comes down to. And as it relates to Black Data Processing Associates, I think it's really important to understand that you're only going to get out of this what you're willing to put into it, okay? I've been away for quite a while. I am currently an entrepreneur, and because I've got over 30 years in the industry, it depends on what day you're talking to me, what it is I'm going to be doing. I primarily do web development kinds of activities. I am a big open source guy. I do strategy for not only small organizations, the faith-based community, but also whoever is willing to engage my services. And so what my role is here in BDPA Detroit is to interact with the funding sources that are out there. Those are foundations, right? You've got some government entities, you have angel investors, you have venture capitalists, and there's probably a few other categories that I haven't really spoke about. Well, I'm heading up the effort to interact with them because BDPA, and being particularly here in Detroit at this time, we're going to set the standard for the rest of national Black Data Processing Associates in terms of how entrepreneurs get connected to funding sources that get connected to emerging markets and emerging businesses. So I'm still very new in all of this. It's great to be here. It's great to be back. And certainly as I find out more, I'm obviously going to be willing to share more. And so I'm not a one-man show. I certainly am going to be looking for some support, but I will say this before I take my seat, and that is be careful of what you ask for. You just may get it.
Right. Great. I am Beverly Moore. I am the president of the Detroit chapter, and I'm a baller. But I'm excited to be in this position at this time. There's so much what Ed and you guys are talking about is really, you really have not seen what this is all going to mean yet. It's just awesome what's taking place. There's a whole what they're calling ecosystem of entrepreneurial activities, and that includes being subject matter experts to help these venture capitals vet these ideas. That means we have opportunities to come in as subject matter experts. We have opportunities to get involved with these new companies, to be a part of their management team, to be a part of the boards, to sit on boards, mentorship. I mean, the sky is the limit. And when you look at business as a whole, they gotta have IT. I mean, we got it. We are right in the middle of everything that could ever happen when you talk about entrepreneurship. They gotta have IT. They can't build a business that doesn't have an IT department. You know, maybe it is in the cloud, but somebody gotta put it up there. Somebody's gotta find the content. So, I mean, the opportunity and what Ed is working on, he's on the frontier. This is not something that's been done before, so we're building it as we go. If you are an entrepreneur, you've got entrepreneurial ideas or plans, you definitely want to link up with Ed. I'm always looking for my replacement. There is opportunity in BDPA, and my job is open in 2016 for president-elect. There's an opportunity. So if you get involved right now, by 2016, you can put your hand up and you can have this job. But so I just want to say thank you all for coming. There is a couple of things I want to also share with you. I was in a meeting today with HP, who is my company I work for, and they have agreed to give us 4 speakers a year. And so upcoming, we're going to be having a presentation on some new technology that HP is just going to be releasing, I think in May, on their cloud technology. And we will be able to get that presentation hot off the press. Yeah, so we just got just a matter of deciding on what month we want to have it in. I think we've got plans right now for May and June. July we take off and for the summer, and July and August because a lot of folks are not around. But then we pick up again in September, and then in October. Last November we had a panel discussion on the job outlook in Detroit area 2014. We're planning on doing that again, and HP has committed to be on that panel. Someone from their diversity and inclusion will be on that panel this year. So I'm excited about that. Our high school computer competition is probably going to be going to the regional competition that's coming up in June. They just got to get their act together and get their budget, and they'll be going to that. So that's coming up. That'll be exciting for them.
Where's the regional, Beverly?
I think it's in Indianapolis or either Ohio.
The national is in.
Oh, the national is in Indianapolis, but I'm not sure. But the regional is either Indianapolis or Ohio.
Okay.
One of those. So that's going to be exciting for them. If you are not a member, there are advantages to being a member, and I think that the more you get involved, you will see that. I can't share with you everything and give you everything that BDPA has to offer if you're not a member, and I want to make sure that you take full advantage of all the things that we're doing. So become a member. This meeting is always free and is open to anyone. Bring folks to this meeting. And as we start to move down the year, there are going to be some things that are going to be only available to members. And I just talked about some things that we're talking about, and you're going to see that being a distinction. So jump on, become a member, and I think you'll see that it will pay dividends. That's pretty much all I have as president today. Yeah.
Wait, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm still Hermine Turner, president of the Detroit IT User Group. We are a general IT user group. We meet normally the first Saturday of every month, unless the facility we meet in is closed. We have a meeting coming up May 3rd. We're geeks, okay? We're the hands-on geek folks. So Microsoft often has these IT boot camps, and they're always on a working day, and they're always, competing with billable hours. Well, we convinced them to sponsor one of our meetings, the May 3rd meeting, and they're going to do a cloud know-how workshop all-day event, 9:30 to 4:30 at the Microsoft office in Southfield. It's a free event, but because we have 3 community initiatives we support, we're also hoping to turn it into a fundraising event to support our walk team for the American Cancer Society Relay for Life at Marygrove College in June. So if you've got $10, we'd appreciate you bringing it with you. If you don't have $10 and just have pocket change, we'll take that. Or you can just show up with your Windows 7 or Windows 8 notebook or tablet. Keith Meyer, senior Microsoft evangelist, is going to walk us through a whole full-day hands-on workshop, beginning to end, of cloud services. Okay, so please join us.
Fantastic.
Oh, well, to remind people about our building fundraiser coming up next month.
Absolutely, and I've got tickets. Yeah, we are having a bowling, this is our 6th annual bowling fundraiser for our high school computer competition. It will be at Plum Hollow on Saturday, May 24th, 4 o'clock to
Yeah, 4 to 7.
4 to 7. And the tickets are $15, and that includes 2 games and shoes. And we have tickets today.
So bring your family, friends. If they don't show, you know, have them buy a ticket. If you can't
Right.
bowl, just
It is
show
a
up and
fundraiser.
come on, you know.
Yeah.
You have to get your own food, unfortunately. We didn't get a sponsor for that, yes.
We will be doing this event, one of our teams organizations that's gonna be doing this with us is the Black MBAs. So we are jointly working, bringing in, gonna be doing this together. So there'll be also other folks, other professionals like ourselves that will be on it at there. So it should be a good time.
Yeah, it's great, great networking, and, it's a fun time, and there's adult beverages, you can go to a bar, and then you can have your little meetings off to the side.
There's gonna be some raffles too. Some raffles where you'll get a chance to win some things. I know they're having a mystery bowler event where they're gonna be, you can win money doing that. So, hope to see you there. Anything else?
Anything else? Thanks, everybody.
Thank
I just want, check our website for any events, because I post events on the website, so that's our information portal. And also check our Facebook. We have a BDPA Detroit page, the BDPA TAC automation page, LinkedIn group. So check those sites for information on what's going on in BDPA and in the Detroit area.
Yeah, we've got a members only meeting coming up, so hopefully you guys become members before that event, because we're really gonna have a big shindig for that.